Climbing Mount Apo was an experience of a lifetime. Like every other journey, even this one had a humble beginning. I met my guide Glench, who's also the hero of the whole movie here, at 3 a.m. in Davao bus station, where he has booked all the tickets to go to Bansalan bus station. This is where we had our breakfast and hired our two-wheeler to go to the base. I mean, those two guys know how to ride their motorbikes. The luggage and the backpack were tied to one bike and we both sat on the other bike. This is not the first time I'm on a bike with 3 people, but this one is more like a race bike and definitely not designed for 3. So I came up with a great idea of an extension by tying a plank to the back seat, and I was the chosen one. At first I thought that's a wonderful idea to have that extension. At the end of the ride I realized that was one of the worst ideas to have a plank as an extension, or at least my bottom was not seasoned enough to take that battering, let me put it that way. Now we have reached a cute little village, and these guys, they love their basketball. I mean, they really love their basketball. As you can see, their little makeshift basketball court, and I was pretty amazed. And what is this place called?
Rockstar.
This place is called Brockstar, huh?
Brock.
Brockstar. Considering the fact that I'm climbing the highest mountain in Philippines, I thought of getting some facts and figures from our experienced guide. To me, it's always about math, science and physics. And some gravity, maybe? So, Glench, tell us how the climb is going to be from here.
From here, we walk like this, and after going walk like this. So after this, we walk like this.
Okay, for how many hours?
For 3 hours.
Okay, 3 hours like this.
3 hours, then everything is we're going to come.
Okay.
Like this. For 4 hours walking.
Okay, that's good. Looks like Glench know me inside out, and he put in the right terminologies which I could understand. And that made perfect sense to me. Like this, we're gonna climb just like this. Now let me introduce Bobby Wondang. If Glench was hero, this guy is the superhero. Right, by now we have walked quite a bit, and this is about time to take first break. And this is a pit stop in a farmer's shack, and this is also our first fresh water source, meaning I have to fill up my water bottles and get ready to hike another 3 hours. As I was expecting, the landscape was changing, but this was changing really fast. Within few meters, you are into completely different landscape. For example, I walked through this amazing grassland. I mean, these grasses were so sharp that it could cut. So tip number 1, you better have long sleeves on, otherwise you will have a bloody hand like what I had. Suddenly we entered into this stretch, which was filled with orange flowers. No matter where I turned, all I could see is these beautiful orange flowers. It's like a park or a garden in the middle of the jungle. I was also told wild boars love to eat these plants and these flowers. Not only that, these flowers are so special that they appear in Filipino coins. It is hard not to notice these little red tags tied every few meters throughout the jungle. So I asked, and I was told this helps us navigate through the jungle. I couldn't stop laughing when I told him that I struggle with signboards. So far the landscape was mostly natural, but this part was all man-made. Yes, these trees were burned down by men to make sure we have enough space and land for farming. So, welcome to Potato Farm. This is where we decide to have our first coffee break. I couldn't have asked for a better location than this. Coffee at Aldi's? Yes, please.
Black coffee.
As my energy level was going down, I badly needed that coffee. What you do when you get your energy back? In the mountains, we shoot air rifle. Oh yeah!
Yes. Fire? Yes. Shoot the potato.
I'm trying, Glench. I'm trying. Give me a chance. Looks like I needed a lot of training before I could go for Olympic shooting. Obviously, these guys shot the target every time, every single time. Aldi showed me how it's done if you have to do that for living by moving the target way far than we did. And of course, he hit the target and ran home like a pro. With all the fun, I almost forgot that we need to reach our camping site before sunset. We said thank you and goodbye to Aldi. Also, we made sure we have some potatoes and cabbage for dinner.
Oh, nice.
First time I'm seeing somebody else hiking in this mountain, other than us three. And he also had his own stereo with the blaring music. Oh well, let's keep on walking. In the meantime, these guys were hopping like gazelles throughout the jungles. I did take a few breaks here and there and also met a small group. As always, the landscape kept changing and changing and changing. After a couple of hours, we reached this point.
So, we have to take that little black log and climb it this way. It's a piece of cake.
Remember this? Yep, it was as hard as it looks, or even harder than it looks. This was the most grueling part of the hike so far. What do I get after this? Any guess? Yes, it's the big reveal. The most awaited sight. Finally, I get to see Mount Apo up close. This is definitely one of the most amazing moments of the hike. We sat here looking at the Jordan Lake and the mountain. Just when I thought this is it, all I have to do now is walk to the campsite and rest. But no.
Shoes off, and we have a swamp to attack.
By the way, I don't recall about a swamp being discussed at any point. I'm walking in a swamp which is ice cold. When I say ice cold, it's around 5 degrees centigrade. And I didn't follow one step which Glench took. Ended up in a knee-deep swamp and Bobby has to pull me out. Oh well, things happens. The good news is, after 20 minutes, we reached our campsite and met a small group of fellow hikers. Happy days. I wish. I'm kinda guy who falls asleep pretty much within 10 minutes, no matter where I am. But tonight I'm really struggling even after a daunting hike for 7 hours, 7 to 8 hours. We reached the campsite at 2 o'clock. Then we started cooking and Glench cooked some amazing food. Yeah, so after that, since 6 o'clock, I'm trying to get some sleep, and at the moment now time is say at 10:45, so approximately for around 4.5 hours I've been tossing around trying to get some sleep. I'm not getting sleep for mainly three reasons. One, there's non-stop thunder. I haven't heard non-stop thunder for 3 hours ever, so that's something. Then the most scariest thing what happened is the earthquake. Yeah, I felt 7 to 8 times. I mean, and within the interval of 2 hours, so that lasted approximately say 3 seconds or so. The turbulence was heavy, and I could feel it. It scared the shit out of me, really. A guy from Indian subcontinent who never felt earthquake. So I'm super scared. And you know the funny part, the same thing happened this evening when we were cooking the dinner. Lunch was like, dude, did you feel that vibration? I said, yeah, I felt that. He was like, that's earthquake. I'm like, what? So he said, in a way, as if it was supposed to happen and he was expecting that to happen. He made it sound so normal. So I guess nothing to worry now. The third point why I'm not able to sleep is if there is a thunder break or if there is a break from earthquake, the neighbor who's snoring in all this chaos, it's amazing. So it's earth-shattering. In fact, he can snore, that man, whoever that guy is. So that's the reason why I'm doing the vlog at this odd time in my tent, trying to get some sleep. So we have another 3 hours to start the hike. So the plan is to go up the mountains at 1 o'clock to go to summit before sunrise. So that's the plan. So hopefully, if I'm lucky, I might get an hour's sleep. Let's see.